All right, guys, our history lesson is over. Now, focusing on literature now. Now, a lot of folks say, hey, Mr. K, what's up? Why do you spend so much time gabbing talking about history? Well, because literature is a reflection of its time. And in order to take the first step to understanding period literature, you have to understand the period in which it was written. So that's why. Now, so what's going on in literature? During the Renaissance, drama becomes the dominant genre. So what I mean by dominant genre, if you had an idea that you wanted to share with the populace, what you do is you would take that idea and express it in a play, right? So you'd write a play and then work to have that play performed. And a lot of people today, when they hear the capacity for one of the theaters, the Globe Theater, during the Renaissance in England was 2,000, people kind of shrug their shoulders and laugh because we're used to, football stadiums that can hold more than 100,000 people. But if you think about this, right, more than 2,000 people are going and paying to see a play. That's kind of a big idea. So we're getting those, different concepts that these playwrights are coming about, right? And they're soaking it up, talking about it. So what does this do? It reflects the growth of literacy and the growth of education that was going on during the Renaissance in England during this. So let's look at some of the different thematic characteristics. Division. A lot of the literature during this time is divided between courtly and common audience. And this is a holdover from medieval England. Yeah, change happens really slowly. The next bullet point, interest in the world. Before, when we were in the medieval period, the focus was on salvation and making it to heaven, but now people are interested in, our lives here on earth and working towards perfecting and improving our lives here on earth. So this gives us the idea of perfectibility. Man is now seen as aspiring, working towards perfection, rather than being just fixed in God's plan, like it was during the medieval structure, like we saw with the three estates, right? When you were born a commoner, you would live a commoner and die a commoner, and then your children would also be commoners, and that was it. The next one, humanism. What humanism is, it's different ideas and things that are going on that are concerned with human values rather than religious values. So when people hear about, those second and third bullet points, they go, wow, are people going to church, Mr. K? And sure, yeah, people are going to church. That's not what this is emphasizing here. People are still going to church. People are still working towards salvation, right? But they believe that they can work and improve their lives here on earth, and that has some value. Being educated has value, right? We're concerned not only with religious values, but human values. The next bullet point, the Reformation is still going on. And because of the printing press, we have all these different editions of the Bible popping up that are in the native tongue of the country. And this is when, right, the Bible is first translated into English. And some of the translations are good, and some of the translations are not so good. Then the last bullet point, nationalism. In England during this time, it's a time of patriotism, optimism, and confidence. And what British writers are doing is they're soaking up ideas from the continent, and they're adapting them, and they're making them English. Now, the writers of the Renaissance seem to be recording, this is kind of interesting here, They like regularity and known design. And we can see this by the sonnet becoming a dominant form in poetry. So people during this time were writing sonnets left and right? They followed a rhyme scheme and a known design. And what's interesting, it's like people were acknowledging how life was changing so fast, right? And they were surprised by it. And one of the things that we'll look at in some sonnets is how these different authors feel displaced in time. And what they're doing is they're dealing with the uncertainty of time and how art can transform and defeat time. So we have so much happening in such a short time frame here in the Renaissance. So I'm looking forward to beginning this new period. I hope you're as excited as I am. So until we meet again, be well, do good work, and keep in touch.